Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me and thank you so much for choosing to spend your time with me and watch this video. In today's video we will continue with our Halloween theme, but this time we will make it cover for legal pads purchased from Dollar Tree. The legal pad size is 5 by 8 by approximately 3/8 in thickness. I will use this pad. I purchased this one from Michael's. It was $9.99 with 40% off. So I have this one and I think I will use something from here. So this is why I'm showing you this. We will use chipboard. We will use one piece 2 by 9.5. We will use two pieces 1/2 inch by 9.5. We will use 5.5 by 9.5, two pieces. We will also use Midnight Moon, and we will use this to cover the entire cover on the outside and on the inside. I did show this one in one of the previous videos. I'm not sure which one I'm releasing when, but this one was also purchased from Michael's. As you can see, it has really nice pages for Halloween. I like this. I think it has some really interesting cut aparts. So we will use some of that for the cover. So we will start with wrapping up and making the cover itself. I will also use black cardstock because the paper pad that I showed you, this one, I think it's gonna look very nice when applied on a cardstock, but this is too flimsy to use it as a cover base or the cover for the chipboard. I think this will just break. So we will have to pre-cut the cardstock, and we're gonna need two pieces 11.5 and 11.5. 11.5 will be the height. So let me double check. This is 11.5. So we will glue it this way. So the height has to be 11.5. So let's glue the two pieces together. Just like that. And let's check how we will position our chipboard. So we will have large piece, spine, large piece, and I like to position this because I always want to check where the glue joint is gonna be, and this one I think it's a little bit too close, so I am just gonna shift it a little bit. So this is approximately 1.5 to 2 inches away from that glue joint, and we're gonna position this and glue just like that. Spacing in between the chipboards, those two pieces, approximately 1/8 of an inch, just like in any other project we have made. Okay, so now we can trim off some of the paper. We want to keep only approximately 1 inch on each side. And we will keep this for now. So now we will score all around. We will fold and we will run the spatula to make that really nice finished look. And we need to miter the corners. So we will cut out just like this little V shape, just like that, leaving a little bit of that cardstock on the corner, just to make sure that when we wrap the corners we don't see any chipboard. So now we can glue. Okay, and one more side. Okay, let's make sure that everything really adhered, nothing is peeking out. And now we're gonna work right in between that chipboard, right by the spine. And this is the reason why I did not want to use the paper from the collection, because it is really thin, and if we would push it right here, I'm afraid it would break. So this will be our cover. So as you can see, this piece is going to be a little bit longer than whatever we usually make, but there is a reason for it. So now we will use the leftover piece to cover the spine right here, and we will have to cut this we will need 9 inches by 2.5, and we need 2 pieces. And we will cover the spine just like that. And I will run the spatula right where that spine is to kind of push that cardstock to the inside a little bit, and that's gonna help us really fold the page. So you don't want to break it, you just want to work it. And you really want to make sure that this is glued. So we do the same thing to this side. Just like that, and let's make sure that this all adhered. Just like that. So let's fold this and work a little bit. And the same thing on this side. And here is our cover. Now I see this one, it's not really glued. So I'm pushing a little bit of glue to the inside. I want this really nice and stuck. Much better. Okay. So this will be our cover. So now we will work on the outside, and I will run just spatula to identify where the scores are. And as you can see now, they are really visible. So for the outside, I chose to use this paper. So we will cut it to size. Now the height will be 9 1/4 by 5 1/4. One more, 9 1/4 by 5 1/4. We will need 2 pieces about 1/2 inch wide. So we got, I want to make sure I cut this straight. So we got 1, it's difficult to see with these lines, and 2, and we need 1 piece 1 3/4 inches. Okay, so we will use these pieces for outside. So I will start with the flap. And the spine. Now the larger panel, and you should have approximately 1/8 of an inch space all around. And when you look at the space in between the spine, make sure that it is even. Another spine. And the back. So here is the cover. This will be the back, and I will put my MaKala sticker right here. So the outside of the cover is all done. So now we will work on the inside. For the inside, I'm gonna use this paper, and again, we're gonna cut it to size. So for the height, it will be 9 1/4. Nine and a quarter. And then for the width, we will make 5 1/4. This is 9 1/4. Another 5 1/4. Then we need the spine, which will be, and I'm gonna trim this because the spine will be 1/2 inch. Another 1/2 inch. And we need approximately 1 3/4 inches for the flap. Okay, so let's decorate this. And this will be the inside. Again, 1/8 of an inch spacing all around. Now we got the spine. We will place it on the middle and pay attention to the distance here and here to make sure it's about the same, to make sure that this is positioned straight. Okay, and we got only spine left. Alright, so now our cover is almost done. Okay, so on this page we will make some pockets. And to make the pockets, I think I'm gonna use some of these. I think that's gonna look really, really nice. So let's just cut them apart. And I think I'm gonna use these two as a deep pocket, but this is too big. I need to trim this off a little bit. So I'm gonna trim off as much as I can and not to lose the look of it. And I think this one will be perfect. But I will also need to cut some cardstock. So I do have some leftover cardstock which I will cut for the packet. And I'm gonna cut this to 5 1/4. That's gonna be the width. Now the height, I wanna make sure that will capture this entire design. So this design is 3 1/2. So I'm gonna cut this piece to 3 3/4. Because I do want little borders. So the packet is gonna be bigger, but that's okay because we're gonna apply this right on the top just like that. I will cut another piece of the cardstock the same width, which was 5 1/4. Because from this collection I want to use this strip right here. So let me cut this off. And now this strip is a little bit more than 1.5 inches, and I really want this to be 1.5 inches. So I am just gonna trim it just a little bit more. So now for the base, so I can apply this right in here, I'm gonna cut this down to 1 3/4. Okay. So now we will apply this on the top just like that. And try to position this kind of on the middle, just the way I did it in here. So the black, it's gonna be just the trim, just the border around it. And now this will be the pocket right here on the bottom. So we will apply the glue only on 3 sides. Just like that. And now this I want to apply a little bit higher, just so you can tuck something in if you like it and we're gonna put this band right on top of it. So I'm gonna have to trim this kinda to size. And I'm gonna trim it just with the knife. Okay, and I will apply it just like this. Okay, and because this is just the band, we will apply the glue only on two sides. A little strip on both sides. Okay, so now this page is done. We got this done. Now we need to work on a notepad. So the notepad will be right here. Now in this collection we have this page, and I really love this page. I used that in a previous project, but I think I'm gonna use this side in this project. I like that look. So we're gonna have to pre-cut this to size. So the notepad is 5 inches. So we will cut this to 5 and maybe 1/16. I really want this to be just a little bit smidge taller or wider than a notepad. And for the height, actually I'm gonna cut this out. I'm not really measuring because we won't see this. So as you can see, we cut it 1/16 bigger, and this will cover perfectly the front. But I don't want to glue the front. I want to keep this almost as a cover for that notepad. So we will fold this around just like that. And let's make sure that this is all nice and straight. So let's try it again. And this will be the fold for the back. Just like that. So now let's fold this over and make sure that you're folding nice and straight. And we will glue this just like that. Just like this. So we will apply the glue only to this 1/2 inch score and the back. And now when we wrap this, make sure that your front is nicely aligned, and then glue the top and glue the back. And we have nicely covered notepad. So now we will glue this, and we will glue this on the middle from side to side, but we will glue this towards the bottom. And the reason for it is we want it put pen right across in here on the top, just like that. So we will apply the glue to the back of the notepad. If you want to make it removable, you could, but I think this is notepad kind of for one season, unless you want to use it next year. But I really, since this is made of paper, I don't know how much you're gonna use it and how well it's gonna hold for you to use it next season. Okay, so we got this part done. So I think this is just such a beautiful presentation. I absolutely love this whole setting. So now I have a little bit of that cardstock left, and I'm going to use this to make the pen holder. And this measures more than 2 inches. I'm going to make it 1 3/4 inches. So now we will score this, and we will score it at 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1 1/2, 2, and 2 1/2. The 2 1/2 inch score, we're gonna cut it right before that score. And that will be our pen holder. So we will glue it just like that. Okay. Let's make sure this is stuck. This doesn't look like it is. Okay. So now we're going to position it like this, but I am going to put my pen first. And by the way, those pens I did purchase from MaKala's. It's a 5-pack. There is, I do have a blue somewheres. Blue, black, green. So I'm gonna position just like this, and with the pen on the inside I'm gonna apply the glue, because I want to make sure that this is glued nice and straight. So after I position everything, I am going to remove my pen and squish this. Okay. And here it is. So we are almost done. Now, 2 things. I do want to place Velcro, and maybe 1 would be enough. But I also want to decorate this panel to kind of break up that front. And we have this left, and I think that would look really nice to put this strip in here. So I think that's what we're gonna do. I do have black Velcro that I purchased from Dollar Tree, and I think that would be perfect for this project, since everything is kind of on the darker side. And I think I'm gonna use only half of it, because they come as a square. So when you apply Velcro and you open for the first time, just be careful because that Velcro is really strong and you don't want to rip the paper. So the paper really has to dry, otherwise you're gonna get this ripped apart. So now I said that I would like to use this to put it right here. So we will have to cut this, and we will cut this too. And see, this is not dry yet. We will cut this to 1.5 inches, but I want to capture as much as the design as I can. So 1.5 inches. And 9 inches, 9.25 in height. Okay. And you know, originally I thought that I'm gonna use something from here, but I did not. Although I think that they are really nice sheets. For example, something like that to use as a note. Can put it in there. So I hope you like this project. I hope you enjoy it. I think it came out absolutely beautiful with little pocket, little band for something, anything you would want to store. It has a beautiful notepad, place for the pen. If you like this project, if you enjoyed it, please hit like button, comment, share and subscribe. All those things really help my channel grow, and you guys have been so good to me. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon in my next video.